3 of the keto calorie 21,000. Hold on a second. Day 3 of the 4,021 day keto calorie challenge. Let's see where we're at on the morning weigh-in. It's like a new prep low. It's lower than I got in prep, 155.4. And I've been eating over 4,000 calories since Saturday. 155.4 today. Definitely was not expecting that, especially after eating all that food last night right before going to bed. So, kind of blew my mind there. Real quick, woke up, did my morning meditation, made my keto coffee, and did some journaling. Let's talk a little bit. I don't want this to become just simply a food vlog in which the only content I'm putting out there for you is like, this is what I ate today, these are what the macros are, yada yada. That's going to get really repetitive, especially over 21 days. So I want to add value, add like quality content that can be used as informative, educational, entertaining. So we're just going to do some of that. We're going to kind of do like an intro to what I want this to become today. So today we're going to talk, I'm still going to share the meals and stats and all that jazz with you. But right now I want to talk about what the motivation behind doing this 21-day challenge is in the first place, and then we can get into the predictions and stuff later. So basically I broke down the motivation behind this into 4 main pillars. So I'm going to drink this keto coffee and we'll talk about those. One of my main overarching motivations behind doing this challenge is I just finished 2 competitions, and I want to talk about like the post-competition rebound effect that happens to so many competitors. And I kind of led into this a little bit in my intro video, but not too much. So a lot of times people right after they do a show that, you know, they've been at a deficit, their calories have been low, and they've been training so hard for so long, they basically just binge afterwards, and they have a crazy, excessive weight gain. They put on a lot of body fat. Like I personally gained 20 pounds in 2 days after my first competition. Not a healthy experience. That's I mean, you develop eating disorders. I had eating disorders. I would go out and I'd binge eat, and then I'd like puke my guts up to try and like feel good. You know, you work so hard for something for so long, and then you just like throw it all away because you can't handle, you know, the temptation of food, and you give into it. So it's not a healthy lifestyle. It's incredibly taxing on your body's metabolic system. You know, it's not healthy to go from eating at a deficit and being depleted for so long and then just intaking gross amounts of calories. I mean, that's not healthy. So that leads to like all kinds of mental, physical, emotional stress. Like, you get your eating disorders. It's just not a sustainable lifestyle, and I think carbs play a huge role in that, because you know, you eat healthy during your prep, and then you go, and the default is to go to like IHOP and crash like just mountains of sugar and carbs. That's going to spike your insulin, your glycemic index is going to pop, and then that's where all these negative, you know, health effects come from. It's like you're really affecting your glucose. Like carbohydrates, that's like the great equalizer. You know, you need to manipulate those to affect how your body's reacting and handling certain circumstances and certain stimuli. So that's one of the big motivations here. I believe, you know, if I can eat a huge caloric excess while maintaining a ketogenic protocol and not have those negative effects, I'll be able to kind of like satisfy that itch to eat more, but then maintain all the benefits of not just splurging and binging. So that is one of my main overarching you know, motivations behind doing this. I think it'll be a great way, because I've proved that it works, you know, for your peak week and your off season, your contest prep. Now I want to prove that it works for your post competition, to avoid and basically eliminate all the negative rebound effects. So there's that. I don't want to draw it and have too much talking at any one interval during this video, so I'll tell you the next pillar in the next clip. So get ready. Alright, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? First meal of the day. We got some steamed broccoli, and we have 2 of the barbecue keto pizzas with barbecue sauce, and I put a tablespoon of avocado oil over all of this. But that's what that looks like. Pretty delicious. So for the next pillar of the day, actually real quick, let me give you my macros. So far today, we're going to have 91 grams of protein, 16 grams of carbs, 188 grams of fats, and 2,172 calories. Of that, it's only 9 grams of fiber, which is the broccoli mostly. So, another motivation behind doing this challenge is I'm basically becoming like a human guinea pig, so to speak. Let me get a bite of this broccoli real quick. Bear with me, I'm hungry. Pretty good. There's not really any other bodybuilders doing keto that I know of in their off season and in their contest prep. So I want to address that and kind of tackle some of the unknowns and see where that takes me. Actually, before I do this, I'm just going to eat and then I'll holler back at you because this is looking really good right now. So hold on. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I miscalculated the pizza. I kind of doubled it on accident, so I'm making up with 2 hard-boiled eggs and 2 melted fat bombs that I refroze. So I'm going to chat out on these while I talk to y'all. So I want to test the law. You know, you got thermodynamics, you got calories in, calories out theory. That's kind of like the go-to that all the bodybuilders, you know, proclaim as why you either gain weight or you lose weight. You eat more than you eat more than you burn, you gain weight. You burn more than you consume, and you lose weight. And that's true to a point, but I think there's a lot of other factors that come into play, such as hormones, you know, genetics. Obviously, there's a lot of factors at play. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint any one and say this is why you are either overweight or underweight or mesomorphic, endomorphic, ectomorphic. You know. So testing this with a surplus of calories for me it'll be advantageous from my own perspective. I'll be able to kind of see how my body performs and what is able to trigger growth in my cells and my body, or, you know, a decline or a shrinking. I don't expect to shrink at all, though. I only intend to get bigger throughout this process. So yeah, I want to test that law, and then I want to see what happens, you know, to my strength, to my body composition, my leanness, my body fat percentage. I got blood work drawn a few months prior to the show, and then I'm going to go back and get blood work drawn almost immediately after this competition. So that should be a pretty good indicator of how the ketogenic diet's affected my blood work. Blood work had improved in between tests that I tested this last time, so I could only anticipate it to get better for this next test, so I'll publish that once I get it. You know, how do my joints perform? Like, are my joints better? I would assume that having more fats, more lubrication is going to increase my joint flexibility. What happens to my mental clarity? Honestly, I've been on keto for 2 years now. Even if I was not gaining any muscle and I was not getting stronger and bigger and more muscularly developed, I would still stay on keto simply for the cognitive enhancements. And that's a pretty bold statement from a bodybuilder, but I also am an entrepreneur and I love business. So the cognitive enhancement and mental clarity I gain from keto is worth the price itself. Telephone call. So I've got that. I want to continue to test that and see how having a 4,000 calorie intake versus what I was having at 1,600, if that increases my mental clarity, gets me more mentally foggy, like what happens? So I'm going to test that. Sleep. I want to see how this excess and surplus of calories affects my sleep. Not going to lie, I haven't been sleeping at all lately. A lot of that I think was nerves for the competition. Like, I've averaged literally 2 hours a night for the past 2 weeks. So I haven't really been sleeping that much at all. Honestly, a lot of it's just excitement. Like, I go to bed tired because I go hard all day, and then I wake up in like 2 hours or an hour because I have to pee because I drink so much water. And then I just start thinking, and I'm excited about all the things I get to do that day. So it's hard for me to go back to sleep. So got that going for me. And then, so you saw in the previous video about the body stats, you know, I took my measurements, I'll post all those, and you saw like the body fat percentage with that electrode scan and with the pinch test. Those were all taken a couple days prior to the start of this challenge, I think Thursday and Friday consecutively. But I don't want to get too into the nitty gritty detail here. You know, within a couple days, I'm not going to gain a whole bunch of body fat. Saturday after the show, I ate a whole bunch. I had that keto brownie and that ribeye steak. So I had over 5,000 calories on Saturday night. And then I ate over 4,000 calories on Sunday. And then officially started the 4,000 calorie challenge on Monday. So there's that. But I had a pizza on Monday too. So if I miscalculated that pizza, I might have been like 100 calories short. So bear with me if that's the case. But yeah, so that's a quick recap on what I want to do kind of as a human guinea pig perspective. I just want to see how all this is affected by consuming 4,000 calories at least a day versus what I was at 1,650 towards the end of my contest prep. So should be an interesting, I mean, the fact that I woke up today at 154 or 155.4, which was like an all-time low during prep after having, you know, several days of excessive calories. Like I'm kind of blown away. I wasn't expecting that. So a lot to learn, a lot to find out. I'm excited for all of it. Now I'm gonna eat this egg and these fat bombs, so I'll talk to you in a little bit. All right, next pillar for the motivation behind this 21-day keto challenge: lifestyle improvement. The reason I love keto, the reason I've stuck with keto for 2 years, is because I'm excited about the lifestyle. Like, I enjoy it. People are hesitant to get into keto because they're like, oh, I'm gonna miss carbs. How am I gonna be able to survive without carbohydrates? You know, I need my sugars, my sweets. And they think that like it's not as easy to go out to eat with friends and family because there's less food options that are keto. They feel like they just make excuses, all right? They make excuses. Keto's a lifestyle. It's a healthy lifestyle. It's a proven lifestyle. It's made my life significantly better, and I want to be able to do that and illustrate that, and being able to eat 4,000 calories a day is a good way to do it. So, to kind of break down what I'm going to do with this specifically, like when I'm doing a contest prep, I'll really focus on the gram, because I'm really scientific. When I get in my prep mode, like I'll want to hit everything to the gram, like I'll weigh everything out. I'm not trying to do that so much with this challenge. It's going to be more ratio based. I'm trying to focus more on the ratios of my macronutrients, i.e. proteins, fats, vegetables, or proteins, fats, carbohydrates, and fiber, vegetables. So, because that's much more of a sustainable lifestyle thing. Like, it's not really feasible to try and count all of your grams throughout every single day, every single meal, without just from the day to day. Like for a competition prep, that makes sense. For like a goal, if you have a specific goal, that makes sense. But just like lifestyle, you know, you want to be able to just eat and not worry so much about the gram, which is why I'm focusing more on the ratio, because I believe that with keto, you know, as long as your ratios are good, that's the main contributing factor to your results. You know, if you're off by a couple grams, no big deal. But if your ratios are off by 10, 20 percentage points, that's a big deal. So for this, I'm trying to stay pretty high fat. Keto naturally is high fat, usually between 70 to 80%. Traditional keto, conventional keto is like 90. But I'm trying to stick right around 77 to 83. That's a good window for me personally. Trial and error has proven that to work well for me. So I'm gonna try and keep my fat percentage at around 80%. You know, I feel like that'll help me stay lean, having it that high. Protein, you know, much lower. And then I am gonna be getting a lot more carbs from fiber than I was during my prep, because I pretty much cut out a lot of my fiber during my prep. But my carbs will be higher, but it's my net carbs I'm trying to keep below 30 still. So that is going to be the focus on the ratios there. What else do I have here? Again, back to lifestyle. You know, you've got more time between meals. You don't have to always eat every 2 hours like, you know, traditional bodybuilders eat every 2-3 hours on the dot. You know, with keto, especially with this much of a caloric increase, I can eat and then not even really so much think about food for 10 hours straight, which means those 10 hours are much more productive. I'm getting a lot more done because I'm not focusing on food. Like my life and my world does not revolve around my plate, you know. I can get more done. I can focus on my business endeavors more. I can focus on my relationships more. Focus on the things in life that matter. You don't ever want life to revolve around food to the extent that everything else suffers. And I've struggled with that. I've developed eating disorders around that, and it's an emotional topic, and it's easy to do, especially as a competitor, because I mean, you're spending so much time and energy and effort, you know, weighing things out, counting calories, counting macros. So much of your time is spent, you know, focusing on food. How do you not make that like your overarching priority? But it's not a healthy priority if, you know, food is taking precedence over your loved ones and your business endeavors and your career. So it's much more of a healthy lifestyle when you're not revolved around food. What else? Again, you know, ketogenic diets, like everything that I make, everything that I buy grocery store wise, it's all a pretty organic, natural. It's got 3-4 ingredients in it. If I go to the store and I buy like some preserved bread and I look at the label, it's got 25 ingredients and I don't know half of them. I mean, honestly, you have to stop and ask yourself, do I really need to be putting all this junk into my body? And more often than not, the answer is no. So I like keto because it's just wholesome, natural foods like we were meant to be eating in the first place. So that will be illustrated in this 4,000 calorie challenge. But yeah, that's basically the lifestyle side of things. It's instinctive, it's natural, it just feels right. Like when my body needs something, I'm able to just like pick up on it, know what it needs, and then act on it. So I like that about keto. All right, next pillar will be in a bit. It is 3:30, time for my third meal. I'm having kind of like a Mexican taco bowl / keto friendly concoction here. I've got some ground beef, some guacamole, some gorgonzola cheese, some salsa, some cheddar cheese, of course shredded lettuce, and then I'm using my fathead pizza crust kind of like as a nacho dipping sauce. So that's putting my total calories for the day at 3,076, fat 278, carbs 30, and 105 grams of protein. Of those carbs, only 20 are net carbs. So got about 1,000 calories left for the day. We are sitting good. All right, time for the last pillar of the day. I'm also going to eat a keto brownie that was gifted to me by my buddy Nick over at Keto Brownie. I'm not sure how much information he wants me to disclose on this because it's kind of in the testing phases. But I will disclose that they're really good. So, check out Nick at Keto Brownie. Find him on Instagram. Good stuff. So, the last pillar is really simple. Personal gain. What do I have to gain from this personally? One, I get to promote Keto Savage. Doing this is a great way to promote the business, promote the lifestyle, promote the diet. It's just a great promotional thing. I'm just going to drive traffic to my website, drive traffic to my social media accounts. Gives me some involvement with y'all. That's one big reason. Another reason is that I've been super hungry lately with the competition prep. The last month you're pretty hungry. So I get to eat 4,000 calories a day and not feel bad about it. That's pretty rewarding in itself. It's a great way to connect and interact with the keto community and fitness. The keto community is coming on strong, yo. Like, it's inspiring and motivating to me to see, like, I'll post something and then I'll have, like, a huge thread follow up. There's so much interest and, like, desire and willingness to learn. It's just fun. It's invigorating. Like, I'm excited to wake up and start the day working on something that's keto related, fitness related, health related, nutrition related, and gets me in contact with y'all. It's cool. This is going to improve my vlogging skills. I'm not a professional vlogger. I want to get a lot better, but I'm learning my camera skills. I'm learning how to edit. I'm learning all this like on the fly. So this is a great way to just kind of throw myself out there, make some mistakes, learn from them, and improve my vlogging skills. It's a good creative work outlet, post-competition. Plus, I just love the lifestyle. I love fitness. I love training. I love eating. I love nutrition. I love motivating y'all. I love learning from y'all, having a student mentality. So that's it in a nutshell. Those are the 4 pillars. That's why I'm doing this challenge. I'll check in with you for the final meal of the day. Today's my off day, so I went for a long walk in the sunshine. But I'm just focused on getting some work done. So y'all have a good one. Take care. Alright, I know we've done a lot of filming today, a lot of vocal, a lot of audio, so I'm not going to spend much time talking here. Thank you for sticking with me for the entirety of this vlog. Today we're finishing the meals off with I've got this big salad with sardines and olive oil, coconut oil, and Kalamata olives. Just been craving some bulky green salads. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes day 3 of a 21-day, 4,000 keto calorie challenge. See you tomorrow. Alright, never-ending vlog here. I think I'm just a fat kid at heart. Had that big old salad, didn't fill me up, but still a little hungry. So I got a whole huge bowl of 10 servings of that shirataki rice with 2 scoops of the creamy almond butter. So now my macros for the day are 4,300 calories, 377 grams of fat, 67 carbs, of which 36 are net carbs, and 159 grams of protein, meaning my ratio is at 14% protein, 6% carbs, and 78% fat. And this is how much volume I got in here. Don't know why I'm still hungry at 4,000 calories, but I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna feel fat and happy. I'm gonna go to bed. I guess I'm just trying to get heavier than a new low weigh-in in the morning. So we'll see what happens. Talk to you then.